Heughan has shown off his comedic chops in a side-splitting new interview segment alongside Outlander co-star Caitriona Balfe. Caitriona, expecting Sam to be well-versed in history given the American Revolution backdrop of Outlander's latest season, encouraged him with, "I'll let you take this one." Sam didn't disappoint, easily recalling the fact but also causing laughter by adopting a French accent for his response. In an Instagram video, Sam posed the question, "What treaty ended the Revolutionary War?" "'Tis simple," he said nonchalantly. "It was Paris? Non? Mais non." Caitriona confirmed his correct answer with a hint of surprise, adding, "That's why they gave them the Statue of Liberty." She too attempted a French twang when mentioning the famous statue, saying, "Égalité, fraternité." Sam then humorously mused about the size of the Statue of Liberty. "It's very small, isn't it, the Statue of Liberty? Like if you see it in real life." Caitriona corrected him, noting there's a smaller version in Paris, leading Sam to jest, "No, I think it was the gift shop I went to. They had lots of little small ones." Outlander aficionados were absolutely delighted with the show's stars' recent comical banter, swarming the comment section to express their adoration for their French-speaking chops. "I love listening to Sam and Kate speak French," gushed one fan, accompanied by love heart emojis. "And just like that, Sam and Kate are from France," exclaimed another admirer. A particularly impressed viewer with French roots added, "Very good accent, and it's a French girl who says it. I could listen to them talking in French for hours." Meanwhile, another enthusiast commented, "The French accent killed me, but it's really good BTW, love them so much." The on-screen saga of the Frasers is set to take on a more earnest tone as Claire, Jamie, and young Ian, played by John Bell, make their return to Scotland at the dawn of the latter half of Season 7. One of the central characters in Outlander has been branded frustrating due to an error in one of the books written by Diana Gabaldon. Claire Randall, played by Caitriona Balfe, encounters Highlander Jamie Fraser, played by Sam Heughan, who later becomes her husband in 1743, 2 years before the Jacobite Rising. In her actual timeline, 200 years into the future in 1945, Claire is a Second World War nurse and married to Frank Randall. In the series, her first trip through the time portal is accidental, and she later returns to the 20th century before going back in time again to find Jamie. While they wait for the second part of Outlander's 7th and penultimate season to drop on Stars, some fans have returned to the book series to fill the gap and get them through the dreaded Droughtlander. However, one fan admitted they were frustrated after finding what they believed to be a mistake made by Claire in the third book. Voyager, posting on Reddit at SariamNew2002 wrote, "I'm on book 3 to keep busy while waiting for the new episodes to drop and I love it so far, but what I cannot shake is the frustration about how Claire didn't research more before going back. Obviously in Jamaica, she entered unforeseen terrain, but once or twice now she's been clueless about a cure because she didn't know which herbs to use or because she was unsure of history questions." One fan wrote, "If I were to take such a huge step as to travel back in time, I would have gobbled up all the books I could find about medical plants and relationships/important people from that time. Maybe I'm just being too harsh on her. I'm not a huge fan of Claire, but it really bugs me reading." However, many fans defended Claire's actions in the comments section. "I think you're overlooking two things: how much actual research has been done/published on the subject, and how easy is it to find?" One said, "In Claire's time, it's not so simple to find that sort of esoteric knowledge. That's the whole reason she and Frank were in Inverness the first time. He had to go find the original documents and oral histories." Another fan added, "I would think she wanted to travel as soon as possible because all she knew is that Jamie was in Edinburgh a year earlier. The longer she waited, the greater the chance he'd be somewhere else." Sam Heughan has appeared to aim fire at pop sensation Beyonce over the release of her new tipple, which has an uncanny resemblance to his own whiskey. The tea comes as the global megastar, 43, joined forces with Moet Hennessy to launch Sir Davis, an American whiskey with Japanese influence, which has been coined after her great-grandfather Davis Hogue. According to a release, Beyonce sought out Moet Hennessy to help craft her perfect blend, and the drinks company assigned highly decorated master distiller Dr. Bill Lumsden, who has worked on Scotch whiskey brands Glenmorangie and Ardbeg. Beyonce was also believed to have a large influence in the design of the brand's bottle, which features ribbed glass and a black medallion with a bronzed horse, believed to symbolize qualities of strength and respect, as well as a nod to her Texas roots. But it wasn't long following its release that Outlander star Sam Heughan spotted the resemblance to his own Sassenach whiskey, which was released in 2020. The Scottish acting star's tipple, which has won a slew of awards, was inspired by the beautiful Highlands in a nod to his time on the hit Star's show as Jamie Fraser. He established his own drinks company, which has become a roaring success. In 2019, his whiskey became such a hit with fans that the 44-year-old went on to release a tequila and gin under the same brand. Spot the difference, Sam simply wrote as he took to social media, alongside a snap of the bottles side by side. "I ride a unicorn, not a horse," he added jokingly before being bold enough to tag the pop icon in the post. Will she take much notice? Probably not, but we don't think these two will be enjoying a swig of their brand success together anytime soon. Off the back of Outlander Season 7's extremely eventful mid-season finale, the remaining episodes finally have a release date and it's just weeks away. So Droughtlander will soon be no more. Jamie and Claire Fraser return this November for the second part of Season 7, and all eyes are on the finale, when we will learn how exactly the beloved show sets up the upcoming 8th and final season. With that in mind, join us as we break down everything you need to know about the upcoming next chapter of Outlander. The 7th series has 16 episodes, making it twice the length of Season 6, and was split into 2 halves, with the first 8 episodes airing in June 2023. Outlander will be back for Part 2 on Friday, November 22nd. That will be around 15 months after the mid-season finale, so mark your calendars. The news was announced to mark World Outlander Day, June 1st, the date the first of Diana Gabaldon's books was published, and Starz also released a first-look teaser trailer for Part 2, which can be viewed at the top of this article. The first episode of Part 2 will premiere at midnight on the Starz streaming service, app and on demand. It'll also get its first primetime airing at 8 p.m. Eastern Time/Pacific Time that night in the US, while the show will air on MGM Plus in the UK. More details on that below. Outlander has a new streaming home in the UK and it's MGM Plus. The move follows the closure of the period drama's former streaming site Lionsgate Plus, which will be rebranded to MGM Plus in May 2024, ahead of the Season 7 Part 2 release date. New viewers will be able to access MGM Plus through Prime Video channels, and existing subscribers of the now-defunct Lionsgate Plus who joined via Prime Video channels will automatically get access to MGM Plus. Outlander Season 7 Part 2 will focus on events featured in author Diana Gabaldon's 7th and 8th books of the Outlander series, An Echo in the Bone and Written in My Own Blood. We'd also expect Charles Vandervaart to return in Part 2 as William Ransom, Jamie Fraser's secret son. A character from Outlander Season 3 will also be making a comeback for the upcoming episodes, only the role has been recast. Laura Donnelly played Jamie's sister Jenny Murray in the earlier seasons, but it's been announced that Kristen Atherton, known for roles in Waterloo Road and Doctors, will replace her. Scheduling conflicts were cited as the reason for Donnelly's absence. Other former characters that have been confirmed for the next season include Gillis Duncan, Lotte Verbeek, Brian Fraser, Andrew Whipp, Dougal Mackenzie, Graham McTavish, Ian Murray, Stephen Cree, Joan McKimmey, Layla Burns, and Laegaire Fraser, Nell Hudson. You may have noticed that some of these characters have previously been killed off on the show. Showrunner Matthew B. Roberts has teased how their returns might come about. One of the many joys of our epic story is the element of time travel, which allows us to revisit some of our favorite characters in different times and places, and we're thrilled to welcome back so many familiar faces for Season 7. He explained, via TV Line. But it's not just about the old faces. There are also plenty of new additions, including Dune's Gloria Obiano as Mercy Woodcock, The Last Kingdom's Rod Hallett as Benedict Arnold, and Chris Fulton from Bridgerton as Rob Cameron. In addition to our returning cast, we're also excited to welcome several new actors to the Outlander family and cannot wait to introduce them to fans in our extended season, Roberts said. Two beloved characters who unfortunately won't be returning are Marzali, Lauren Lyle, and Fergus, Caesar Dombey, who were last seen in Season 6 when they left Fraser's Ridge to find a better life for their children. Explaining the reason behind their absence in an interview with The Express, Davis said, "Lauren was busy with a couple of other things, as was Caesar, so you know that was purposely in talking with those actors and where we decided to take this season. We don't see their stories, unfortunately." The first half of Outlander Season 7 concluded with Jamie, Claire, and Ian leaving the American Revolutionary War and finally heading back to Bonnie, Scotland, teasing what lies ahead for the Fraser family, executive producer Meryl Davis told Digital Spy. "The second half is even more exciting. It's like the second half does not give you time to breathe." There are so many ups and downs for everyone and so many life moments. I can't even put it into words. The second half is going to be even crazier than the first. We now have an official synopsis to give us a better idea of what's to come. The rundown of Part 2 explains that viewers find Claire, Caitriona Balfe, Jamie, Sam Heughan, and young Ian, John Bell, leaving the colonies and arriving in their beloved homeland, Scotland. The perils of the Revolutionary War force them to choose between standing by those they love and fighting for the land they have made their new home. The synopsis adds that Jamie and Claire's marriage will be tested like never before, while there are challenges for Roger and Brianna, Richard Rankin and Sophie Skelton too, who will face new enemies across time and must battle the forces that threaten to pull their family apart. Davis confirmed that we'll see some familiar faces in Part 2 as the trio make their way to Jamie and Ian's family home Lallybroch. Like Fraser's Ridge, Lallybroch is our other home point. And to return back to Lallybroch, where it all started in so many ways, is really exciting, she said. Meanwhile, back in the 20th century, Roger and Bree discovered that Rob Cameron has kidnapped their son Jemmy. Couple think that Rob has taken their son through the stones to the 18th century in order to help him find the hidden Jacobite gold near Fraser's Ridge. The mid-season finale saw Roger and Buck, Roger's ancestor who accidentally traveled to the 20th century, head to Cray na Dun to travel through the stones in search of Jemmy, leaving Bree and daughter Mandy behind. We would, of course, expect Part 2 to solve this cliffhanger by revealing Jemmy's whereabouts. Did he really go through the stones? Will Roger and Buck be able to save him if he did? And what will happen to Bree and Mandy in the 20th century? Stay tuned.